What's going on, everybody? Your boy Man up here. I'm coming at y'all with a video real quick here. I was sent this video and I watched this video at least 4 times before I started to react to it. And I gotta say, pretty much everything Candace Owens said in this video, I 100% agree. She didn't say nothing wrong in this video. I want to say this here. I believe this whole idea of it's okay when I do it, but it's not okay when you do it type thing is just wrong. That should not be the case. Also, to just believe all women just because they said it, hell no. I've seen too many evidence, even in my own life, because I grew up around nothing but women, so I see how they will lie just to get what they want, just because they know people are going to believe them over you. So, no. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble too much. Let me go ahead and get to the video so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
Which quality? I just need to know what exactly you've seen when you've said that is an example of toxic masculinity.
I think men feeling that they need to dominate spaces physically and speaking over women, interrupting women, belittling them.
It's just a question. So you just said when men interrupt and dominate spaces. Were you a toxic feminist when you interrupted me when I was on stage?
See what I'm talking about? Right there. You calling men toxic when they interrupt women. But you just interrupted somebody. So I don't say toxic feminists. I say you got poison feminists. Because if you want to talk crap about me doing something, you turn around and do it. You're no better than me. But watch how she finna make excuses why it's okay for her and not men.
No, I was interrupting something.
I'm just asking.
That I fundamentally don't believe it.
I'm just asking because you're saying that somebody interrupting someone is now a symbol of toxic masculinity. You just interrupted me on stage, so are you a toxic feminist?
I wasn't interrupting you because I didn't...
You went, bullshit!
Yeah, because you were talking
bullshit!
Because you were talking bullshit. I didn't interrupt you because you're a woman. I interrupted you because I didn't
Maybe,
believe what you were saying. It's not that I didn't believe
but
what you were saying.
But maybe that's what men do sometimes? Is it possible that men sometimes interrupt because they disagree with what women are saying and not because they're toxic masculinity in the air? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Is that you're coming up with terms and sometimes people just interrupt. I'm fine with the fact that you interrupted me. It happens all the time and I'm not holding that against you. I'm just using it to prove a point that you've created an entire concept around when men interrupt women, but you literally just interrupted me and you don't identify as yourself as a toxic feminist.
My point exactly. I love how Candace Owens just put that. It's okay over here, but it's not okay over there. Perfect example. What men be talking about all the time. Let's continue.
Because I interrupted you on the basis that I didn't agree with the politics you're espousing, both of you.
Well, maybe men are just disagree with what you're saying.
Because you're a woman. The fact that you're a woman is completely irrelevant to me.
But maybe it's irrelevant to men as well when they interrupt people. Men interrupt other men. Men interrupt women.
That's not the case.
We're
There's a culture of men's voices being valued more than women.
I want to know, when she said that a culture of men's voices get valued more than women, please show me where on earth does that happen. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because, let me explain why I'm saying this. Because I have seen too many women, like right here, you won't even let another woman speak. You start interrupting her bullshit. And even when she's trying to get some understanding of what it is you're saying, you are still interrupting her. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, where do y'all get these thoughts from? Y'all just pull shit out of thin air and expect for the world to just believe it. Well, let's continue.
What's your metric for
this?
Give us
one piece of data.
Yeah,
one.
like a data.
Any piece of data.
You can't just say if there's a culture of men interrupting women. What's your data point for this?
Any kind of interpretivist data where you're looking at interactions, at dynamics, you can see. I mean, what do you want me to say? Like a statistic?
Like a fact?
Yeah.
Any fact.
Any kind of...
How about the stuff on the news?
A recent huge cultural example, maybe?
So can I ask a question? Do you think we live in a patriarchy?
Yes.
Why do women live longer than men? Why are men more likely to commit suicide? Why do women compose 50+% of college graduates?
Why do we control 89% of the spending power within households if men are the ones that are going out and making all of the money, as we like to say?
Women have the sole responsibility of caring for the house and the children.
Nope. I gotta stop her right there. yeah, you might got the sole responsibility to take care of the house and the children, but that's something that you decided you wanted to do. You don't have to have kids if you don't want to. That's your choice. Now, still, you still got the spending power. But where are you getting the money from? A man. So that alone should shut up that gender wage gap as well, too. Because women make more money than men already, these days. Then on top of that as well, if y'all making up 80% of the, she said 89% of the spending power, where you getting the money from if you're a stay-at-home mom? You getting it from the man. So let's continue.
So it's a patriarchy that allows women a lot of responsibility.
Within a household, within a certain sphere, not a powerful one. The household is not.
Then why are majority of business startups women, majority of master's degrees, and majority of doctorate degrees in the States?
The thing about women living longer, married women live the least long. Unmarried women live longest because they do not have the responsibilities, the emotional labor of being
marriage is emotional labor.
That is a lie right there. In marriages, men usually die first. In marriages, men usually die first. Hey, Betty White just passed away. She was almost 100. She was 1 week away from her 100th birthday. 99 years old. 1 week away from her 100th birthday when she died. So that's a lie. Men still do break our backs going out into the world, dealing with the stress of the world, to come home and deal with the stress of a woman. So that's a lie. And stress is stress is a number one killer in this world. Stress on the brain. So she lied right there. Let's continue.
Pardon? Marriage is emotional labor for women. And that's
a great point.
Well, no, because the way that women support men, it's a huge part.
We live in a
They
patriarchy.
support each
I'm
other.
not saying no, they don't.
Yeah, that's a lie too as well. You getting the right kind of marriage. Notice I said right kind of marriage. They support each other. It ain't just women supporting the men. Men support the women too. Now, if you get with a man that don't support you, that's your fault. Let's continue.
They don't. I'm talking
But so
about...
this is sort of, I appreciate the discussion that we're having, but this is, you're such a perfect reason for why I could never be a feminist, because everything that I just couldn't. It's like, you don't really know why you're calling it toxic. You did the exact same thing, but you decided that when men interrupt, it's because you're a woman. But you decided that when you interrupt, it's just because you had a differing opinion.
You asked me for one example.
I know. And then you say stuff about the marriage and breakdown as an emotional labor. There are women, just so you know, that aspire to get married and have children and stay at home and raise good children. And that's okay. So, but why are you now making it seem like that puts us in a position that's less than man? Want to create a society? Be the person that raises every individual that's in society. Feminism has made it seem like there's something wrong with being a mother, that there's something wrong with being a wife. And
Feminists have made it seem like there is something wrong with being anything that's traditional, for a woman to be traditional. You got women that want to be married, want to have a family. You have other women calling them pick-me's. Like, what's wrong with being a traditional woman to have a man to take care of you? Well, you don't have to deal with the stress of the world. Let him go do it, because that's what men are made for. Women are not really made for this stuff. And there have been so many women that come out later on in their life that come out and say, you know what, I was wrong. Yeah, women are not really made for this stuff. I don't really want to work. I don't have to deal with this. I want a man to come take care of me, blah, blah, blah. But feminists has made it to where anything that a woman does, something traditional, is something wrong with it.
everything that you just said is that. I don't like the feminist movement. I think it's become very toxic and very hostile towards men. If you believed in the equality that men and that women should be able to think whatever we wanted, you wouldn't be debating me right now. You'd say, well, more power to you, because you'd be a true feminist. But you're not. You're trying to...
You're belittling other women.
I'm not belittling them. You're allowed to be a feminist. I'm not telling you you can be a feminist. You could buy a pussy hat if you left today, and I wouldn't mind.
Okay, that was funny. You can buy I don't want to actually say the word myself because of social media, but you can buy a vagina hat. Let's put it like that. That was funny. But that's the thing, Kenny Owens is saying that too. You're undermining me because I don't want to be what you are. You're saying that I'm wrong because I don't think like you. And I do not like it when women do that. Mainly other people, but in this case, it's feminists. So it's like, why do I have to have the same mindset as you? Please help me understand this. Let's continue.
Never had an issue with people that are feminists. I have an issue when people tell me that I now have to be a feminist, or that it's complete bullshit when I say that I think it's harmful to keep telling men that masculinity is wrong. Masculinity is a component of being a man. I think a society needs and thrives on strong men. There's never been a society without strong men. There's never been a society without strong men.
And that is 100% facts. The crazy thing about it is, even the animal kingdom will go and get who they think is the strongest, most dominant male and mate with them. But for some reason, humans don't think that way. Women think that they can just do everything on their own and then get mad when they can't and still want to blame men. Let's continue.
And because I support that, you're upset and you're calling bullshit. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with strong men? Why does that make you upset? Let me ask you a question. Do you think, so now we're getting, now this is why I don't support feminism, by the way, do you believe in the concept that women should just be believed absent facts? Because that was the Christine Blasey Ford thing. There was not a single fact. Do you think that women should be believed absent facts if they say that they were raped and assaulted?
Not without fact, but I think there should be a culture of belief. If someone comes forward and says, a man or a woman comes forward and says something has happened to them, that they should be given the time to be heard and to...
Now, let me stop right there. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. I don't give a damn what you say. I'm not just going to automatically believe you. And that's man or woman. I'm not just going to believe a man. I'm not just going to believe a woman. Hell, there's been times my daughter has come out and said something happened, and I don't just automatically believe her. I get the details of it first and then go from there based on what is said. Because I have seen plenty of times where people got put in horrible positions just believing somebody, and now they wish like hell that they would have done something totally different. Let's continue.
She was
speak
hurt.
of their experience.
Okay, but I just
not by
want
a court, not by a judge, not by legal professionals.
Why didn't she submit a police report?
At the time,
She
still
never did.
hasn't.
because there is a culture of disbelief, because she was in an
But she had no
important
evidence.
position.
There's no statute of limitations for rape in Maryland. She could file a police report today. It's because she made up the entire thing.
No, she didn't.
So why doesn't she know the time?
Now, how do you know that that woman did not make that false accusation up? Whether it's false or not, how do you know that she did not make it up? Do you know her? Was you there when it happened? Did you see a video or some kind of pictures or anything? How do you know? But you say, no, she didn't. How do you know that? Was you right there when it happened? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Was you on the phone with her then when it happened? Something, give me something. How do you know? You say, no, she didn't. How do you know that? Let's continue.
Place, no corroborating witnesses. Her story changed 8 times. None of her friends said it ever happened or she ever talked about it once before. Everything about her life story changed at least 6 times. And 2 of the women that came forward and said that something happened are actually under criminal conviction for making up the entire thing. They never met her once before. This was a con job to try to displace United States Supreme Court
It was a political
justice.
hit job. It really was. But I do want to say this to you, and something for you to just consider, because I think we should wrap this up, because I don't think you're ever going to not be a feminist, and I'm never going to be one, right? But it's really important when you start getting into that slippery slope of believe women, and I talk about this particularly to minority America, because we've learned our lesson the hardest with this. And I think radicalized feminism, when I did an interview, I said it was the closest thing to white supremacy I've ever seen is radicalized feminism. The concept of just believing a woman because she said something is the direct thing that led to all of our ancestors getting lynched in America. When white women would just say that something happened, okay? And we were supposed to magically believe it. Our ancestors were then chased after, put into cars, Emmett Till, everything that happened in America happened because white women should just be believed. So you will never, ever, ever hear me stand behind a radicalized concept like just believe women because they're crying.
Point taken. 100%. She's 100% right. This is why I said I love Candace Owens for this one. It's okay. That woman said, oh, it's toxic. She lists up all these reasons why why toxic masculinity exists. But then Candace said, wait a minute. So you're a toxic feminist because you just did the same thing. No, I did it because of that. Don't give excuses. You just did the same thing. No matter what your reasoning is, you just did the same thing. I find that so strange. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I thank y'all for watching. Thank you for giving me some of your time today. Whenever you decide you want to watch this video, I appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Hey, give it a thumbs down if you didn't. Hey, it's cool with me. You know, let me know what you think. Leave me your comments. I want to read them. I do read some of the comments in my videos. With that being said, this your boy Man Up. I'm Chunking the Deuce. I'll holler at everybody.